In the first two parts of this video series, we created first a custom post type for a web design portfolio, and we entered some data, and then we created a filterable portfolio archive page. In the third and final video of this series, we're going to set up the portfolio page where we show the details of each specific portfolio post. Let's get started. Now, in our previous video, we got into Theme Builder and we created the portfolio archive page. And keep in mind, your name may be different if you chose something other than portfolio for the name. Now, we're going to create the all portfolio page. So again, you would click on Add New Template, Build New Template, and you would choose Portfolio from the list. So all portfolio right there, create template, and then you start building it. We've already built it, so I'm going to go in and edit the custom body. It's going to start out in visual mode, and some things are kind of hard to see, so I'm going to switch so that we can see it in wireframe mode because it'll be a little bit easier to talk about things. So the first item here is the post title. So that's the name we gave to a specific post, the element we wanted to show the title, and it pulls it automatically. So we don't really need to do much more here other than go to the Design tab, choose the font, the color, and the other formatting. The image, just the regular image module, we'll select it, and we've got it dynamically loading the featured image for that specific post. And again, you can go to the Design tab and do some custom formatting. The post content, now keep in mind this module was originally designed for a blog post, but in our case it's going to display the information we put into the main content on our portfolio post. So there's not much on the content tab, but we can go into design and we can choose all the options there that if you've used Divi for any amount of time, you're very familiar with. Below that, I've used a third-party plugin from PI Creative that does social sharing buttons. So somebody can click on a button to share this to Facebook or Twitter or any other social media that I specify. So we're not going to talk about that since it's yet another third-party module. In our next section, we're going to pull some of the data from our post to display various items that we entered. The first thing, this is just a title that says the name of the theme. And this is the actual data. You'll see it's dynamic content that we put in the post, the name of whatever theme we used on the project. And then the next module is an image that's also dynamic content that pulls the image specified in the post for that particular theme. The features title is just a plain old title text, nothing exciting there. But the real meat of this particular section is the advanced custom field option showing the site features. And if you remember, when we set it up, it was a series of checkboxes of various features that might be used on the site. So the custom field name, site features, that's pulling it from our post. From the default post, which is portfolio, we've already specified that elsewhere. We don't really use this, so now we get to the checkbox. So it's going to show the value of whatever is assigned to that checkbox, and that would be the name of the feature. We have some other settings here. These really aren't used. This one's not used. This one's not used, etc. But the real exciting part of this, it's a bulleted list. And I think it would be really boring to show a plain bullet. So on the Advanced tab, Custom CSS, I've pasted in some CSS. I didn't create this. It came from PA Creative. So what it says is, if we have an unordered list, this is the line height, so a little spacing in between, and it's going to display this character in this color from the ET module's font. So by looking at this, it's kind of hard to tell what it is, but the character I chose is a circle with a check mark in it that we'll see on the front end when we look at the finished product. And then the last box over here is just some features that we include on every site. So rather than having it as a site featured checkbox, I put it in as plain text. Our next section has AI usage as a title, and then we have a dynamic text here that pulls the text we entered in the AI usage part of our custom post. We have another title for the goals, and yet more dynamic content where it's pulling the text from our custom post of what we entered for site goals. Our next section, results title, and yet another box with dynamic content pulling in what we typed in for site results, and then a button. So you'll see we want the button to say visit site. We want it to be full width of the column. It's going to open an external site. And the link is dynamic content pulling the site link URL from our custom post. And with all of these, remember, you can go to the design tab and you can make them look as good as you want. And then the last part of the page is what I called a footer here, but it's a contact form if somebody wants to reach out and get started on a project. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this, and then we'll look at an example of the finished page. Now we're back at the filterable portfolio on the front end that we looked at the end of video 2. And you'll see there's our categories, and there's only 5 projects currently entered. So I'm going to click the View Project button on one of them, and that's going to bring us to the page we just finished building. So we see the title, we see the featured image, this is the post content, there's the sharing buttons we talked about, the title, the name of the theme used, the thumbnail for that theme, and this is the site features. Remember we talked about the checkboxes, and I used the custom CSS to get these icons instead of just a plain old circle. The default text that we put on every project, and that way if we do some other things by default, I can easily add it there rather than going into site features. Scroll down, how AI was used on this site, the goals of the site, the results of the site, a button to visit the site, and then a form so that somebody who comes across this can reach out to us about having their own project completed. So now you've seen everything from the beginning, creating the post type, setting up the data, creating the archive page, including filtering, and now the finished portfolio page itself. I hope you enjoyed these videos. You learned a lot about Divi and Divi Machine, and make sure to click the like button so you can see future videos we create.